Hey, what's everybody? It's Scotty, the Bucklos Rear Wheel. It's time. The weather is getting colder, so if I'm going to strip the paint off of this bike behind me, I got to do it right now. Let's talk about it. So we've got the Marin Pine Mountain up in the stand. We're about to start the process of making this bike my own, which means all of this crappy champagne paint has got to come off. We are going to strip that off with this stuff here. Ready Strip Advanced. I've used this before on my wife's hardtail. Stripped it down to bare aluminum. Works really good. You know, it's supposed to be safe. So, this stuff is pretty gnarly, but it does work really well. So we're going to brush it on to the frame here, and most of that crappy paint's going to come off. So what we got to do to start this process is we basically got to take this fully functioning good bicycle all the way down to its bare parts. If you saw my ride video on this thing, I did bend the wheel. I mean, it just came a little bit out of true. I had this wheel sitting around. It's a Bucklos that I got in like a bundle deal with a bunch of stuff off Marketplace. Got it cheap. Actually, it's not too bad. Sounds good. I think it's got like 72 points of engagement. So we're probably going to end up keeping this wheel set on this bike. Just listen to it real quick. Not too bad. So I got to find a matching front wheel to go with that one, but I think that we are going to keep that wheel set. Like I said, new drivetrain going on it. Got a 12-speed Deore off eBay. Came direct from China for $105. So we're going to have an 11 to 50 tooth rear cog, rear cassette, Deore clutch derailleur 12-speed. We're going to go to a single chain ring in the front here and a Deore shifter up here. So gone will be the 3x10, which is actually a pretty good working group set, but just wanted to go to a clutch derailleur because I don't like all the bouncing around. So yeah, let's get this thing down to its bare pieces, and then we'll get this paint off. Oh, another cool thing I ordered that isn't here yet, but I did find a headset for this thing that should slacken it out another degree. So whenever I get that in, I'll talk about that in the video, but I don't have it at the point of me recording this part. So, all right, let's strip some paint. Okay, I'm getting her broke down here. Just got to pull this crank off, which means I've got to do some YouTube research because I have never pulled one of these SRAM X7s off before. So we'll do some YouTube research. I'm sure somebody out there has done this, and we'll get that off and get the bottle cage off, and it'll be ready for stripper. I took the whole front assembly off together. Everything is still hooked up, and if you're ever pulling off a headset like that, I like to stack mine on the fork just because everything stays right where it was as I pulled it out. So, although I might be not using that if my new angle set comes in. Time to put the nasty stuff on this thing. So we're gonna mix it up really good. If you can see that in there. I've used this stuff before. You just start kind of layering it on just like so. Probably should have pulled that off first. Let's go ahead and do that now before I get too ahead of myself. I'm not worrying about all the stickers that are underneath the paint. Number one, some of them are under the paint, so got to get it off first anyway. Number two, I'm probably going to be taking a grinding wheel to this thing. So doesn't really matter. Try and not get it on the bottom bracket. I'm gonna wipe that off. I didn't want to fuss with taking that thing out because it's actually in really good shape and I don't want to mess it up. I've been known to mess those up. Just ask the local bike shop guys. They've worked on my stuff before. For some reason, I struggle with those. I'm not too worried about this. This whole thing's gonna get a black coat, so some of those tight areas, I'll just make sure I cover those good with some paint. But I really just need to get this white off so that I can take a grinder to it and get all these stickers off this thing. It will amaze you at how well this stuff bubbles this paint off. So the frame's been sitting here for a few hours. As you can see, it's bubbling up. So I'm gonna spray it off with some water here, and then I guess we'll get the angle grinder out with a brush on it and see what we can do. Alrighty, so you can see I've kind of got some black on the back of the frame. I got all the paint off pretty much. There's multi-layers on this thing, so I've just been sanding it and getting it smooth between these transitions. Then I'm going to put this black flat primer on it, and then I'm going to sand the whole frame by hand and smooth everything out, and then we will go gloss black for the final product. Okay, hey, real quick, I think we're making the move. So I'm out here in the kind of wet, damp weather that we're having today in southern Indiana, and I'm wet sanding the frame. So let's talk about what I'm thinking here. So I put a matte black finish on the frame to level it out after stripping the paint, stripping some paint off, getting all the decals off, and just to kind of level it back out. And I just did a wet sand on it. This is what it looks like now. You can see that original Marin blue peeking out right here. You can still kind of see some remnants from where they had decals, but it's all smooth. And my original idea was I was going to paint this like a metallic black with flake in it. But after seeing it all rough like this, and I've got these decals, I was going to put this on the badge, and it's the Marin blue, right? So I'm thinking, put that on, clear coat this frame, maybe in a metallic flake clear coat, and yeah, that might be it. So if I end up not liking this after I put it all together, I might be taking the bike back apart to go to the original color, but I think this is what we're going to go with. All right. Shifting gears. So I'm putting on this Duplicolor Clear Effects onto the frame now. It's already got a coat on it. It's really subtle. I think if I would have had just an all black frame, this stuff would really pop. You can see, if I get real close, see where I actually went ahead and painted that. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a little flake in it. It's supposed to have kind of a color change effect. Obviously it's a little dark out here, but I think it's going to look really cool whenever this bike's all back together. If not, we'll just go with the all black route like we had planned. Here's my $105 eBay China Special Deore 12-speed. It's a mouthful drivetrain that I did an unboxing on. So this is going to be going on the bike. Pretty sick. Here is the main part of this Sunshine cassette that comes with this eBay kit. Again, this is the 12-speed 11 to 50. So let's get it on the hub here. Staying with the China theme, this is a Bucklos carbon, I'm going to say carbon in quotation marks, hub. But the cool thing about this hub, I got this for free with a bike bin haul off Facebook Marketplace. Listen to that engagement. So it's got 72 points of engagement. This thing is easy to come out, so I've got to be real careful when I'm putting it on, because if you get the cassette on and this whole driver comes off, it's a real pain to get back in. Alright, let's mount it. Whoa, the first part went back on. Starting to look like a bike again, man. Things gonna look pretty good. Alright, the crank's back on. I have to say, this SRAM X7 is one of the easiest cranks I've ever had to take on and off. I love it. And yeah, I didn't really clean it. Now that I'm seeing the black in the sunlight, did I mess up not doing the whole bike in the black? I don't know. You can kind of see it in the lighter colors. I don't have my flash on right now, where you'd be able to tell it a little bit, but it's not, it's far more subtle than it is in the black whenever it's in the sunlight. Okay, so we've got the bike back together. I'm sure you can see it behind me there. Really awesome project. I'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the build as we take a look at the bicycle. Let's take a quick look at some glamour shots of this thing, and then we'll come back and we'll chat about the build, how it went, what I think about it, and all that. All right. So all in all, I had just an awesome time bringing this bike back to the shape that it's in now. You could ask my wife. I have a lot of time in this thing. I spent a lot of time outside over the weekend getting this bike into the shape that it's in now. Just really, I really enjoy restoring old stuff, obviously old motorcycles, old bicycles, everything like that. And it's bikes like this that remind me why I like to do it. It's now that it's back in this form, it pedals so nice, and it's me. So let's talk a little bit about it. So we did not paint it black. You know, we talked about maybe keeping it in this rough finish, kind of wet sanded look. We did go with that metal flake clear coat on it. I'll put some clips of it. You probably saw some clips of it in the daylight where you can actually see the glitter or the metal flake that's in it. I want to talk more about this 12-speed group set that I put on here. Ordered this off of eBay, $106 delivered. It came with the chain, the derailleur, the Sunshine 11 to 50 tooth cassette, and it came with this 12-speed shifter up here that's hiding behind the juicies. and that whole kit went on in about 25 minutes. It's so easy to put a chain on a hardtail. You just loop the chain around the biggest cog and around your front, and on Shimano 12-speed in particular, you just add 4 links. So I had to cut 2 links off of this chain that came with this kit for this bicycle in particular. Yeah, and it shifts like a dream. Dare I say, it shifts better than my much more expensive SRAM X01 mechanical that I have on the Ripmo. And I just really am stoked on how the paint came out. I think it looks really cool. I've always wanted to do a rat rod kind of build, even going back all the way to my Honda CB750, and I've never actually went through with it. And with it being a bicycle and it being so easy to take apart, I just said, you know what, if I don't like it, I will just take it back apart and paint it black. So yeah, just really enjoying it. This seat is super nice. It'll never come off the bicycle. Yeah, there it is. We have, going back to the headset here, we do have a Works Components headset on the way from the United Kingdom that is going to take this bicycle from a 71 degree head tube angle to a 70 degree. It's a 1 degree slack. It's the slackest you can get for this small head tube here. But that was on a Black Friday sale. I couldn't pass that up. And we do have a 120 travel air fork on the way here. It's you know, of the budget variety. It is a Bolani, whatever, Bolani, that we're going to put on in place of this 100mm Recon TK. Might rebuild this winter, and we'll see how it is, how much heavier it is than the Bolani that's going on it. But the Bolani is another 20mm, so we're actually going to get a new head tube angle of about 69 degrees, hopefully, when that's all installed. But that's for another day. Right now, the bike's perfect the way it is. And we are going to get a front wheel that matches the rear. So that's the only other thing that'll change. Maybe tires, because these old Race Kings, they are thin sidewall, and you gotta have a lot of PSI in those for them not to feel like they're gonna roll. So yeah, thanks for watching along with me as I bring this bike back to life. I don't think this bike will ever leave my possession. I really like it a lot, if you can't tell. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more content. We've got another gravel bike that I'm going to be building up, just kind of a budget thing, bike flip kind of thing. Yeah, we got some more old stuff coming, and hopefully some motorcycle riding if the weather holds out. So cheers. I'll talk to you guys later, hopefully, if you come back to listen. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.